I'm indie, so everything that I do, I earn it. I have to work twice as hard. So I'm grateful for the interviews because I have to work for them. I don't get them. I don't have PR teams. I don't have like people setting shit up for me. Like, so I'm grateful for every person that even wants to speak because that's work for me. That's an opportunity.
What's going on with AdeBukola.com? This is Toy Creole checking in for all things digital. First of all, we have Miss Dawn Richards.
Yeah.
Dawn is rocking our lime green and looking so fabulous.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling blessed. I'm home. And that means a lot to me. Yeah, to be able to do this is 25th anniversary, and this is the first time I've ever done any festival ever as a soloist in New Orleans.
Lord Jesus.
Isn't that crazy?
How does it feel?
It feels a long time coming, 15 years. 15 years. I've always wanted to be in this market. It was really hard to get your own. Sometimes as an artist, it's very hard to get your own market. I traveled the world, sold out shows in New York, and I've always just wanted New Orleans. So to be here finally as an indie artist, to be able to be on the stage and share it with so many mainstream artists, people who are signed, is an honor.
Now let's talk about that indie track.
Yeah.
I know we have a lot of artists who signed with the record label. Obviously, you took that route with indie, and now you're solo. Talk about that evolution and maybe a benefit. Kind of tell us about the pros and the cons. We can get real for real.
But it's real. I love being with a label because they have funding. It's like I treat my artistry like a business. I'm a small business, and with small businesses, they always say if you survive the first 6 years, you survive, right? I have to hustle like that, so I do miss the reality of the funding. It is very hard. I also think indie artists don't have a lot of platforms. Social media and tech is our only hub, and even though that's great, we don't get award shows. We don't get to go to award shows to perform. We don't get picked to do the big festivals. We've got to hustle. And a lot of times in hip hop, you see indie artists, but in pop culture, like pop artists, very few indie artists that break through. Most of the time, the budget is so big for pop culture that you can't sustain on your own. And I've been able to do it for about 7 years now.
We stand the queen.
Oh, thank you.
I want to talk about. You mentioned a little bit before you felt like there were more resources or different things like that for bigger artists. How do you break through past that as an artist?
You create your own platform. I was able to collaborate with Adult Swim. I get innovative. I get creative. I animate with them. I sync my own music with them. I found avenues. I pivot. You pivot. And you get creative, and you don't let the no or the rejection be your answer. You let it be your motivation. And so like that became my thing. I created the platforms for myself. I started working with people that wanted to listen, alternative motives, doing VR, virtual reality, working with partners and people and branding who wanted to see something that was different. And so the mainstream artists weren't. We were. Right? So like you start to get creative. But the truth is, I hope that we get more and more comfortable with the reality that the two spaces can exist. Mainstream artists and indie artists can be together. I would love to see Billboard, the Grammys embrace the independent artists as well. Maybe have an independent artist award. Maybe have an opportunity for independent artists to perform. Maybe have 2 slots open for indie artists who are really moving and motivating via streams. Yeah, these are platforms that can work, I think, for both parties to exist.
What advice would you give for artists that come up and say, maybe I want to try this indie route, I'm hard, it's struggling, it's a little bit difficult. What do you say to them when seeing so much of your success?
This shit hard. Good luck. Good luck.
Yo, she kept it above.
Yeah, it's hard. Like, this is not for the faint at heart. But understand, if you own your brand, it don't matter who's watching you, because every person, every face is a pocket for you. It's a money, right? You don't have people owning your project, your music. I own my masters. I own the things that I work with, right? So that's, and you people, if people are watching what the industry is and what's going on right now with people, music and owning and the Taylor Swift stuff and Scooter, it can get really interesting with that. So there may be hardships, but if you own your brand and you can control it, the only thing you have to do is work hard. And if you work hard, every penny is yours. You build enough pennies.
Okay, one last question. I love that. Building pennies into millions.
Yeah,
millions are made up of pennies.
Absolutely.
What do you want to do next for Dawn? And what drives you? Because it is hard.
Yeah.
It's a challenge.
I love this. So this was never about money. It was never about fame for me. I came into this. My father was in it. I already knew what I wanted to do. It was never about that. So when I got an opportunity to do it, That was what it was. But for me, what's next is I want to create the platforms. I want to be the person to pioneer the new generation behind me, to have more avenues. Adult Swim has never worked with a black female artist like this, ever. Adult Swim has never worked with an R&B artist to be producing content like this. New windows.
Would you still want to keep them indie under, if you were to kind of spearhead that project?
Yeah, I mean, I'm open to labels. I never was no to labels. It just has to be right. I like contracts that work in my favor. But I also like owning my stuff. So for me, I'm grateful that I have an opportunity to work with people like Adult Swim and to work with tech companies in VR and work with tech stars, because these are it's becoming innovative and finding new avenues. The artist has changed. We don't have to have the conventional way to come up. I'm creating a new way for me to thrive. Everyone thinks you have to be on a mainstream, you put out a single, that single goes, and then you go, and that is the right way, and that goes. But there are other people making a lot of money doing a lot of different things.
Honey, talk about it.
Yeah, there's different, just like you have small businesses and different businesses that thrive, there are different types of artists that thrive. Hey everybody, this is Dawn and you're watching I Date Bucola here at Essence Fest 25th. I love you guys. New Breed.